Hey guys, what's up? It's Bibs07 here again, and welcome to a new video here. And in this one, I'm going to be talking about my thoughts so far on the mining and smithing beta. Now, full disclosure, I've only just logged into it and walked around and tried doing things now for about 20 minutes, so I don't have the most in-depth experience with it. But either way, I'm super confused as to what the fuck is happening and like how everything works. I just went and got 27k rune pickaxes for a bunch of these weird tokens that I had in my bank. But as far as smelting goes, I mean, these interfaces are a bit like, whoa. Like when you first start the game and you come to smith something and you see all this shit in your face, like all these ores. I don't know if they're all there unless you're on, like, maybe they're only all there if you have 99 smithing or something, but it is a bit much to put all up in someone's face at once if they are all there when you're just starting. And just in general, the interface is a bit cluttered, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy. But you can now store your ores in here, so that's kind of nice because it'll save you bank space, I guess, if you want to put them in the ore bank, I think is what this is called. And there's also a bar bank, which is shown right here, but is mostly used for the smithing. But as far as I can tell from what I've done, smelting is pretty much no different than it was before. You just have to do it a bit differently. So you can click on the bar there, or you can click on the ores over here, but it'll default to like steel. So if you want iron, you have to click the iron bar. If you click coal, and then coal is only used for up to mithril, and once you get to adamant, you have to use this luminite, and then rune is also luminite. But then the new ores, which is this one, who the fuck knows how you say that, orichalcite, some shit. You need this dracolith, and then it's for the necrite, you need phasmatite. That's just Bane ore. And then for the Elder Rune bars, you need one of light and dark Animica ore. And I have no idea where you mine these ores. I couldn't find them anywhere. It just logged me in at the place I was already logged in the main game. So I had to go, and then I ended up wandering over to the Artisan's Workshop, where I found this like free item guy who gave me these ores, but I have no idea where you're going to be mining them from. But those are all the new ores. So coal is now going to be essentially useless for the most part, which is pretty stupid. But, well, the problem is you still need all of these other bars to make the new bars for the best armor, which is the Masterwork. You need one of every single bar to make the process of making the Masterwork armor is so fucking confusing to me. Like, it's just so many steps. It's insane. I don't understand why they did it like this. It's ridiculous. But the first step is creating yourself a concentrated alloy bar, which is one of every single bar in the game. And that also, obviously, you need a rune bar to make an Elder Rune bar, but you need one of every single bar to make this, and then you need 10 of those bars to make one enriched alloy bar, and then you need 10 enriched alloy bars to make one immaculate alloy bar, and then you're like a fifth of the way there. It's so fucking stupid. I don't know why they did so many steps, but that's all the smelting steps. Once you have your immaculate alloy bars, which, if you do the math here, you need one of each of this. You need 10 tenths. That's 100 of every bar, as well as 200 rune bars. But, 100 Elder Rune bars is 100 rune bars with ores added on. So 100 of every bar in the game to make one of these immaculate alloy bars. And then you can take that to the forge, which I don't understand this bit at all either. Like, I click on the forge here, and I don't really understand what the hell, like, what is all this? Base, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, burial. Like, I really don't get this. Okay, so this is kind of makes sense, I guess. It tells you, so you make the thing, and then you can upgrade it with bars. So that makes sense. But then this, some burial set. And then this is how you can get this ore box, which you can put your ores in while you're mining them. So it saves you inventory and not have to bank as much. They just have this misc bit down here, which seems weird to even exist, but what the fuck? Let me just close that. But I don't really understand why this is the forge, and then but like some things in here, like if I click on like I want to make like something like I want to make this, you must be using an anvil. So why is it on this fucking interface when I click the forge? Because I click here, I begin project. You lack the requirements because I'm supposed to be clicking on the anvil. So why the hell is that option on there? But either way, let's go ahead and let's finish the Masterwork process here. So next up, what you need to do is you take your immaculate alloy bar and you turn it into a folded alloy bar. And the way you do that is you take your immaculate alloy bar and you click begin project, and it turns into this partially folded alloy bar. And as you can see, this folding progress, you need 1001 ticks of this process to complete the folded alloy bar. So it takes fucking forever to do this. So let's see, how long is 60? 60 of them is 144 seconds, and you have to do 1,000. So you can do the math on that. I don't know, it's going to take you forever. But then if I understand it right, once you complete that, you get that turns into a glorious bar, I think. It makes no fucking sense. Like, they don't explain it unless you go reading the documentation. I don't know. This is the first time I've done the any of the betas, so maybe I've missed some stuff, but a lot of people are not going to have played any of the betas when they release this for everyone in the real live game. So I'm just trying to find what do you do? Do you fold it and then it just turns straight into the glorious bar, or is that not what it is? I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure this out really quick. I'm losing my mind a little bit here. Glorious bar. Yeah, how do you get the immaculate alloy bar? You turn it into a folded alloy bar that turns into a glorious bar. Okay, I think that's how it is then. It just, once you're done with your 1,000, you get one glorious bar, and then you take the glorious bar and you turn that into a Masterwork plate. How long does that take? Oh, what the fuck? In progress smithing object. Your item has run out of heat. What? Heat it. Oh, now it doesn't bring up this interface. What the fuck is happening? Okay, this is a little cool, I'll be honest, this little back and forth heating it up system if you want to pay attention. But current heat, current progress. So this also takes a while. You have to do that the entire way. You have to get this to 100%, although it's nowhere near as long as the folded bar. And why isn't this? Oh, I already had glorious bars in there. Okay, can I stop this? Can I? Okay, fuck off. Get this out of my inventory. I want to look back in. So you make that, and then you have to turn that into a curved Masterwork plate, assumingly that takes the same process I was just doing. Then you got to turn that into an untempered Masterwork plate. Then you got to turn that into a Masterwork armor piece, or untempered Masterwork armor piece, rather. Then you got to turn that into a Masterwork armor piece. Then you got to turn that into a lined Masterwork armor piece with a little bit of leather on there. And then, I don't know what the fuck this is, but after you have the lined Masterwork armor piece, you need 2 of those to make your Masterwork unfinished Masterwork helm. And then to make the unfinished riveted, well, like, what the fuck is happening, bro? I don't even know. Unfinished Masterwork helm, you can turn into a Masterwork plate body just as a 1-to-1, which I don't understand. Unfinished riveted, what is riveted? Oh, you have to add some nice Masterwork rivets to it, which is made out of steel bars, and then you can turn your you can turn your lined Masterwork armor pieces into unfinished Masterwork helms, into unfinished riveted Masterwork helms that can then be turned into Masterwork helms. So, if you follow, that was like a 50-step process. First, you have to come to the furnace, create your concentrated alloy bar out of 1 of every bar in the game. 10 of those gets you an enriched alloy bar. 10 of those gets you an immaculate alloy bar. It's like I'm playing fucking cookie clicker or some shit when I'm trying to make this armor. So then you take your immaculate alloy bar, you head on over to the furnace anvil garbage, you fold that bitch in half, and it just becomes so glorious, it's insane. And then you take your glorious bar, turn it into a plate, takes a little bit of time, turn that into a curved plate, turn that into an untempered armor piece, take that, and turn it into a good old Masterwork armor piece. Slap some leather on that bitch, give it a lined Masterwork armor piece. Smash 2 of those into a helm that'll be unfinished Masterwork helm. Grab yourself 10 good old rivets and turn that into an unfinished riveted Masterwork helm, which can then finally be turned into your Masterwork helm that you can actually wear. But if you want the best version, you need to trim it. So you'll need 2 Masterwork trim to make the trimmed Masterwork helm. How do you make the Masterwork trim? You get some weird essence that I don't know what that is. I have no idea. So yeah, Jesus H. Christ, could they have made it any more complicated? I don't understand why they did it like this. And then so you need 5 for the plate, 3 for the legs, 1 for the boots and gloves each. So what does that add up to? 7, 12 of these thingies total, which 1 glorious bar is 1 of these. So you need 12 glorious bars total. So that's 1,200 of every bar in the game to make this full set. Jesus. And it's degrade to dust. And apparently this whole process, because of the amount of time it takes to fold these things, it's going to take you like 40 hours or something like that in total if you're mining as well, like if you're Iron Man maybe. But you probably wouldn't be mine. I don't know. Depends what they change on the drop tables. But it's ridiculous, bro. I think just if you buy everything, it takes 11 hours to make something like that. Man, dude, I can't imagine what the price of this crap is going to be with all the work they have to do to get it. But yeah, that is the smithing process. As far as the mining process goes, I haven't even really tried it at all yet. So I'm going to try that out after work, but this is going to kind of be like a cut. It'll be instantaneous for you guys, but Jesus, it's just too complicated if you ask me as far as the Masterwork goes. But I do actually like the process of creating a new item or creating an item where you do like the heating up of it and all that. I think this is a pretty cool system where you have to keep it hot in order to make it go faster, and then in the end it's finished. But I think you get more XP for upgrading the item after the fact. So I see I made that bronze med helm, and now I can go to oh, you can't upgrade these. I guess that makes sense. You can't upgrade the lower leveled, and you can only go up to +3 on the rune med helms. But then when does it get to +5? Orichalcum can only go up to +3. Necronium can go up to +4. Bane can go up to +4, but then only Elder Rune can go up to +5. Okay. But I like that actually a lot, that heating process, to be honest. I think it's pretty cool. But the Masterwork process is fucking stupid, honestly. But anyways, I'm going to try out the mining a little bit later on after work because I got to go back to work. I didn't have enough time to finish this video, and then I'll talk about that and what I think. But Jesus, I'm about to have to go take some aspirin after that. Alright guys, so I've had some time to look over the new mechanics for the mining changes that are coming with this rework, and overall I like them a lot more than most of the smithing changes for the most part. Well, the only thing I didn't really like about the smithing was to do with the Masterwork armor, to be honest. I liked the base idea of the new types of smithing, although I'm not the biggest fan of the upgrading of the equipment, and the new tiers are kind of not the coolest looking things, or at least the Elder Rune is probably the most lame thing out of all of those. But anyways, I'm here at the dig site area where the dark and Anamica rocks are, and these are the level 90 rocks, which you need 1 of these and a light Anamica ore to make an Elder Rune bar, which also needs a regular rune bar. But basically, if you don't know how it works, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So again, I don't really like that they're making it more complicated because the game's already really complicated, and for new players it's going to be a bit hard to understand all this stuff. But I'll try and do a bit of a summary and then give my overall thoughts at the end. But basically each rock in the game will now have like basically an HP value, and the HP value is what you kind of see over your head, basically is how far or how much HP you've taken away from the rock, and when its bar fills up you get your ore. And if you actually see here, there's a little, actually I'll get to that later. Let me go over the rest of the rock attributes. Each rock also has what is known as the hardness factor, which is basically what affects how much damage you deal to the rock. So every time your pick hits the rock, you basically deal damage to it. and that is affected by this hardness value. And the hardness value of the rocks is basically according to the level of them. So for these rocks, which are the highest level of 90, the hardness value is 235, and that basically affects how much damage you deal to the rock, and each pickaxe basically has a different damage and penetration value, and based on your penetration value, that's how much damage you are able to deal. So for this rock that's level 90, I'm using a crystal pick, which is only level 70, so my rock penetration value, which is a new thing added to pickaxes, is only 140, which isn't very good, because that means the hardness is higher than my penetration, meaning I suffer a penalty and lose damage for not having a better pickaxe. If I wanted to deal full damage to this, I would have to get myself the new pickaxe of Earth and Song, or an Elder Rune pickaxe +5. Oh, it doesn't even need to be +5, but +5 deals more damage. Because as you could see on the pickaxe as well, there's a mining progress range, and that's basically the amount of damage that you deal per swing. Although there are some other modifiers like the hardness that do factor into that. And how you get the new pickaxe of Earth and Song is you need to combine an Encamdo pickaxe, a crystal pickaxe, and a blast fusion hammer. So that in total takes 2 dragon picks, 4k harmonic dust, 2 million coins, and 4 Encamdo fragments. So it is pretty difficult to obtain, but if you want it, it's going to be the best pickaxe in the game, so it's best to get it. However, it doesn't have any benefits over the Elder Rune +5 pick, aside from the fact that it can be augmented. As far as I know, there's no other special effect that it has aside from that, but the augmentations you can put on skilling items are pretty useful. So if you are going to be going for one, then you probably, or if you are going to be doing a lot of mining, you probably just want to get one of these, the Earth and Song picks. But the Elder Rune +5 will do just as well if you don't care about the augmentations. And the only difference between the Elder Rune base and the Elder Rune +5 is a small amount of damage. So it wouldn't even be the worst thing if you didn't upgrade it all the way to the +5. But if you did, as long as you do have a pickaxe that is the same level as the rock you're mining from or better, you'll be doing way more damage than what I'm doing right now. So basically, everything that goes into the damage is, one, your mining level does contribute, so that's obviously more important to have your high mining level. Strangely enough, your strength level has to do with it, which I kind of don't like because it's skilling and you don't want to have combat involved in your skilling, but it's not a very big impact as it's strength level divided by 10. And then there's the damage roll, which can be anywhere between the 2 ranges on your pickaxe for the mining progress. Then there's the hardness versus penetration value, so the higher level rock versus the lower level of your pickaxe, the penetration value is going to be worse for you. But if you're way higher than it, I think it's just ignored, like you don't get a bonus, but maybe you do, I don't know exactly. And then there's always a chance for a crit bonus, and I think it's a 10% chance. You see pops up sometimes, critical swing happens, and that gives you bonus damage on that swing, of course, which I'm not sure how much bonus damage it does exactly. I'm trying to find it. It doesn't say on here as far as I can tell. Oh, critical hit bonus. So the critical hit bonus is the amount of damage you gain extra, and the bonus is the higher of your mining level, I think it says here. So if you get it at level 99 like I am, you get 100 bonus damage, so that's pretty good. That's why I'm able to mine these rocks without taking completely forever, because my pick really is bad compared to these rocks. And then the last mechanic with mining itself is your stamina. So as you can see, whenever I'm hitting this rock, there's some white sparks that fly off. But if I sit here long enough, the white sparks will stop and they'll start to just be nothing at all. There won't be any sparks, and that means my stamina has run out, and that means you're fully AFK and you're not getting any bonus damage for your swings. But every time you click the rock, watch, I'll click it here, and my next swing there was green sparks right there, and then I swing again, it's white sparks. So there's basically a hidden stamina mechanic which is refilled every time you click on the rock, and if it is full, which means you have to click the rock after every swing, so one there, green sparks, click it, green sparks, click it again, and that's how often you have to click it to maintain this. And that gives you a plus 25% damage per swing, which is a significant bonus. And then if you're anywhere, wait, what? I can do what? I don't know what that's telling me, but I'm going to stop. Either way, you failed to... Interesting, there's an achievement for it in here, even though it's not even live. That's kind of cool. But while you're in the white sparks phase, it's 12.5%, so half of the increase of fully active. And then if you have no stamina, you get no bonus, which is not so good. So you at least want to click on it every now and then just to get your medium stamina bonus. But that's an interesting mechanic to encourage active mining while you're here. But I do like the fact that you can fully AFK. It does make it pretty nice, especially since if you're on Iron Man, you're likely going to have to be mining a ton of these rocks if you're a new Iron Man and don't have any ores, because ores aren't going to be dropping from monsters anymore. You got to remember that. And then one other thing that I want to talk about, you probably have noticed this rock is sparkling all yellow. So basically, whenever you make a swing, there's a chance for one of the other rocks of the same type nearby to become a rockertunity, some stupid pun name that they came up with. But basically what happens if you click on this is you get a massive multiplier to your progress, and it transfers over from the other rock. So I just clicked on that and I got ×7 to my progress, and it nearly fully finished that rock that I had previously mined about halfway. So if you are already doing the click every time for the stamina, you might as well click to a different rock to get that extra bonus. Or, you know, if you're glancing over, to give it a 1 click so you can reset your bonus. See, there it is again. See how much it fills up my bar. That was almost halfway. And for this pickaxe that's not very good for this, that's not too bad. So honestly, overall, I pretty much like all these changes for mining, to be honest. It's nice that it's fully AFK now. There's no competition for the rocks because they don't deplete ever, and anyone can mine them all at the same time. There's rewards for being active while you do it, and there's also the ability to fully AFK. And I think it's pretty sweet. Again, I'm not too sure about how they're removing all ore drops from bosses, but we'll have to see how that goes. And I think the pickaxe of Earth and Song is a bit too difficult to get, but maybe not. I don't know. I feel like it should be even higher tier than the Elder Rune +5 if it's going to be that hard to get, but I don't know. I guess they didn't want to have anything above tier 90 yet for pickaxes, but yeah, other than that, I mean, there's obviously all the other new types of ore, but there's not going to be any difference to those aside from their statistics. It's going to be all mining the same way. And then there is, of course, the ore box that has been introduced now, and if you have the best one, you can, I'm not sure how many of each you can store within it. Okay, it can store up to 100 of each ore up to the level that it is. So if you have the best ore box, which is the Elder Rune ore box, it can store 100 of every single ore. So I could stay here for quite a while mining before having to go bank, which will be pretty nice. I don't think this place itself is going to be where the Dark Animic Core rocks are, but either way, it'd still be nice to have that. But, oh wait, it can be increased from 100 to 120 at level 95 plus mining. So 120 even. Oh wait, there can also so it can get up to a max of 140 of each ore by leveling up your mining. And then there's some achievement apparently that increases it as well. So that's interesting. You can still use Signs of the Porter, although with this ore box it won't be as good. And you might have seen earlier I got this geode thing. There's now these geodes which are basically the same as Bird's Nest for the most part. There's 3 different types: sedimentary, igneous, and metamorphic. And the metamorphic geodes are actually really good. You can get an uncut onyx, a Triskelion fragment, a random piece of dragon equipment, 1 to 10 concentrated alloy bars, 1 enriched alloy bar, an elite clue, an ancient effigy, an anima crystal, the gift for the reaper that you get reaper points from, 100 to 300 corrupted ore, or a coin that can be alked for 1 mil. So that's pretty good, and apparently they all have an equal chance of 1 out of 11. So dang, that is not too bad. And it'll also always contain a random stranger gold rock that you have yet to earn. So I don't know. These are you're probably never going to get these. They're probably going to be super rare, but they are pretty insane sounding. And then the igneous ones just give you a random gem up to Dragonstone, from Opal to Dragonstone, and then the sedimentary ones give you a random gem from Opal to Diamond. So those are basically useless. Let's see. You will normally get an igneous geode, but it has a 1% chance to instead be a metamorphic geode. So yeah, the metamorphic geodes are going to be super rare. You only get those 1% of the time that you get the igneous, which is not going to be too often, I assume. But maybe it is improved by the pickaxe level. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the summary, basically, you guys. I know it was kind of different to how I did the smithing section, where I was kind of giving my first impressions of going through it, but honestly, the smithing one doesn't have as many in-depth mechanics to it as far as the changes to it are. I mean, obviously, you just go to the thing and you can heat up just for the regular smelting, you can heat up the metal and then smith it. And to make the upgraded ones, you just add more bars and doing the same thing. The only thing that was really a huge change is the way you make the Masterwork crap, which honestly, you already heard my opinions on that. I thought I heard something about like spikes or whatever you call them, like armor spikes. I thought they were doing something with that. Let me see if I can find that here on this page. Armor, no. Spike. Oh, here we go. Armor spikes. What are those? Because I missed those on the when I was talking about smithing. So these are kind of like overloads for smithing, I guess. What do they do exactly? They're a consumable item that gives the player a thorns effect, causing any enemy who strikes you from an adjacent square to take damage. The amount of damage the enemy takes scales with the player's smithing level, which is capped at 99. It's not a reflect, apparently. So interesting. But these are level 90 smithing only, and they're untradeable. So you make them with Elder Rune bars, and one Elder Rune bar makes 1,000 armor spikes. So yeah, that's interesting. They're not super detailed yet on how they work. I haven't seen anyone talk about them, but we'll have to see what ends up with those. Oh yeah, I brought this rune pick. But yeah, you guys can see the difference right here. 25 to 75 and 75 penetration, 39 to 109 and 140 penetration. So big difference there, obviously, but it is 20 tiers worth. But yeah, in general, honestly, I was going into this kind of planning on not liking the mining and smithing changes, but for the most part, aside from the Masterwork stuff, I think these changes are actually pretty cool, and I'm kind of looking forward to the rework now. But they definitely need to reduce the amount of time that it takes to make the Masterwork armor. It's ridiculous. There's way too many steps, and all that time you have to put into it for it to grade to dust armor just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I'm not against it costing a large amount of bars, but it shouldn't take so much time. That's the main problem. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments down below. Have you played the beta at all? What are your thoughts? And are you looking forward to the rework more or less now that you've seen these changes? I'm interested to see your thoughts in the comments. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.